How's everybody doing this morning? What's going on? Happy Sunday. I guess happy Monday. Guess we can say that. Hope you had a good week. Hey Yvette, how you doing? Shout out to those that are on Facebook. See what we broadcasting at today? Just Facebook and YouTube. No LinkedIn. No LinkedIn. What we want to start at today? What we want to talk about today? So much stuff has happened. So much stuff. What we want to talk about today? Oh, congratulations on your win. Celebrate all your wins. Celebrate all your wins. D, did you have a good day? Did you have a good week? Good to see you too, Yvette. I went and got a massage yesterday. It was good. I enjoyed it. You know, massage places have grown when they give you the heated tables. Last time I went and got a massage, it wasn't no heated table. It was just get on this table. Hot stones. Hot towels. Now when you go in, they were like, when you filling out the stuff, they were like, oh yeah, we don't massage the breast. I'm like, who's asking for a breast massage? What is going on, ladies? What in the world? What do we have here? Then of course they got, the whole, you get the whole experience. We hear what's going on. I hadn't seen you in a minute. I saw you on somebody else's podcast. I was like, oh, there's he's still alive. I ain't seen him over here in a minute. I seen him in a minute. Have y'all been keeping up with all the drama that's been going on this week? Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been so much drama. No, I won massage envy. It was elements. I actually wanted to own a massage envy. I had looked into that. You've been busy. What you been busy doing? I hope you've been busy getting some more skills and making some more money. That should be your answer. I'm just playing. What have you been doing? No, I over at over this week. There's been so much going on. So much going on. Someone lonely asked for a breast massage. That could be true. Two things can be true at the same time. Notepad ready. What's up, free? I see your message. I have to. You know what? I need to connect with Eric because I need Eric to come on to do some stuff with me. Right. So I'll call him this afternoon. Oh, and nothing wrong with that. What are you procuring? Do you and Free know each other, Yvette? You and Free should be yapping it up. I hope y'all know each other. Maybe Free sent you, or maybe you sent Free. I don't know, but y'all should know each other. So what happened this week? So a lot of things. What's going on, Natasha? We've seen um all the shenanigans online. I won't mention names. I'll just say we know that people been playing the let's play the victim game or the blame game, not the victim game, the blame game. We've seen that. Um have we all okay, Freeze your girl, okay, cool. Have we all seen the market, right? You seen the job come out, the jobs come out, 517,000 jobs available, right? 517,000 jobs available, right? Um, we also saw, if you haven't noticed and you haven't been paying attention, inflation dropped. So you know what that means. If inflation drops, then what happens to CDs? Yeah, the Fed hike came 0.25%. So the CDs have gone up. So right now, um, Capital One got a CD for 5%. The market rally should be good. You should have seen some increases. Should have seen some increases, right? Should have seen some increases. Did anybody buy some more stocks this week? What's going on? Are y'all DCAing your way in? What you doing? No, yeah, maybe. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Today is the third, so the sixth is on. I mean, not today is the third. Yesterday was the third. The sixth is on Monday. Of course, we got some dividends coming up. It did cause a drop in some stocks. Wolf Speed. Oh, you missing the chat. It don't show the chat on Facebook. I don't know. I don't ever look on Facebook. What's Wolf Speed, Natasha? Oh, got you. Chip maker. They building in Germany. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So let's get busy. Let's get busy. If you would like, if you could drop your city, your state. I'm gonna take a free and a vet. I'm gonna take a page from Eric. Drop your city and state and your favorite stock. He does your city and state and business. I'm gonna do city, state, and your favorite stock. What are you motivated in? What do you know that's a guarantee? That way you get to see what everybody else is investing in. So I drop my city, my state. Yeah, I think y'all already know my stock. I'm riding with. I'm old school. I'll drop my city, my state, and my stock. You don't have to. You can do the sticker or you can do the name, whatever. City state stock. So Heather G, what's going on, NC worker? You still riding with Netflix? You must be short Netflix. Or you see the bounce back. I mean, we know they collect data. I know they're looking at doing some stuff in theaters. You already know I'm with you on Apple. I should have said APPL. I don't know why I did AAL, but APPL. Oh, you riding with Apple? You riding with Microsoft? Okay, I still buy them too. You two put you never. You got $5, Lee. I want to hear. You got $5. You got $5. You got $5 to buy a percentage of a share. Apple and Bank, VOO, VTI. Yeah, I ride with them too. Leaves, let's get it. Slices and fractionals. Let's go. Melissa Jane, what's going on? Drop your city, drop your state, drop your stock. City, state, stock. Yep, you can use Stash, you can use Webull, you can use M1 Finance, you can use Robinhood, you can use Fidelity, Charles Schwab. Pick something. Yep, you can even use Cash App. You can even use Cash App. Let's get it. Let's go. All right. Anybody been keeping up with what Ark Invest said? What a girl said? Let me see if they'll let me play it. They might not let me play it. Let me find it first. They might not let me play it. She gave a little something yesterday. She's still all in on Tesla. She's still in on AI, and she's still all in on Bitcoin. Them are, that's what she riding with. She rolling with Bitcoin. Yeah. So all the stocks y'all are invested in, those that were in Amazon, did y'all get on a call? What's up, Don? Shout out to our members. Did y'all get on? Do y'all go listen to the calls that they have when they have the calls for the stocks that you're invested in? Do you vote? Nike? Yeah, I was in Nike. Gotta listen to the calls, see what they're talking about. Follow in most of people. You vote, okay. You vote. You exercise your rights. I get it. All right, so let's get into it. My screen is shared. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna open up with um, what are things going on this week. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this out. Don't forget to tweet. Don't forget to tell your grandmama, your granddaddy, your niece, your nephews, your uncles, your baby daddies, your baby mamas, your mistresses, your significant other. Free say I'm balling. That's what you said. Free. Yeah, don't forget. Share this out. If y'all sitting on the sofa right now, next to your significant other, make sure they got a notepad too. Don't forget to tell your dog, set up your Instagram with your dog. I ain't starting early, Queen Lee. I'm just saying. It's morning. Sunlight shines across your sleeping face. Uh-huh. As we lay little Saturday morning, little laughter, that's all. Little Saturday morning, little laughter, that's all. It's not petty. I'm saying if you sit next to your significant other. Done exactly. What happened? What happened? What happened? She made it sound so innocent. I think that came out for me in elementary school. It might have been. It might have been high school. It was early in the game. I remember. I do remember that. Oh, and Miss Chalet, something in my heart. I remember when that came out. Everybody was listening to that song. Everybody was listening to that song. I remember, like growing up, growing up, we Gen Xers grew up off of like Anita Baker and uh the first beginnings of Tenderoni, the truth about Aroni, right? So the whole whip appeal baby face and all that, getting flower carts and candy. we was getting flower carts and candy in high school. So forgive us, Gen X women, if we don't understand why you don't buy flower carts and candy as adults. We don't understand that. We was getting that in high school. We used to get cookies in high school, like was it the American Cookie Company? You boys would come to the school with the American Cookie Company, like happy birthday, flowers and balloons and the whole nine, or the guy and the girl would wear matching outfits. They go take pictures together. If anybody from Atlanta know by Harry's, back in the day, you take the pictures together. Y'all had an outfit and stuff like that with the column in the back. If you take pictures together or whatnot, y'all was out there pictures. Oh, my favorite one that I used to see all the time was you wear your boyfriend's Letterman jacket around the school. Forgive us. Forgive us. We was getting flower cards and candy in high school. In high school. The high school for me started at eighth grade. People had middle school after that, but we started at eighth grade. Something in my heart is still a banger. Yep. It's just the baseline. The 1900s. It ain't the late 1800s, the late 1900s. Yeah. Anita Baker with a deep voice. Anita Baker, Phyllis Hyman, Patti LaBelle was doing her thing back then. Wham, Wake Me Up for a Go Go, all of that. New Edition, Dion's favorite group, Jodeci, SWV, Jade. Uh, can't forget none of the Usher era. You can't forget none of the Diddy era when Mary J. Blige, uh, when Faith released her album. It's just these are just the sounds, as Dion say, the sounds of our time, right? The sounds of our time. What's his name? What's his name that everybody didn't like when he first came to New Edition? Johnny Gill. When you feel the magic in my hand, when I touch and rub you the right. Everybody was like, how grown is he in the group? Because his voice was so mature, like, what you been missing in a man? He was like, everybody was hitting the Roger Rabbit. Y'all don't really dance now. Everybody had routines when you went to the club. You had a routine when you went to the club. You're like, oh, we're going to dance this week. We're going to dance it out. You had a routine. Thank you, Natasha. You have a routine when you get to the club. Engineering cannabis, I give you Bone Thugs and Harmony. I can't give you Mariah Carey. Maybe her first album, but Mariah Carey was not on rotation for me. She wasn't on rotation. Her first album was, but after that, I was over. Yeah, my. I didn't have all them damn kids. I didn't have all them damn kids. But I'm just saying that was the thing. Everybody was out, You were dancing, you was living life, this, that, and other. Flower cards, candy. Uh what oh yeah, weekends at the movies, kid and play dance movies, yep. Weekend at the movie theater, or you go to the game room, right? Or y'all meet up at the mall. Y'all go to the mall. My boyfriend gonna buy me this. Yeah, that's a different conversation. We didn't have all the kids. That was the big thing. That's why I keep bringing up the whole population, not necessarily decrease, but the population decrease on as far as the working population. I was looking at somebody on YouTube this week, and they were talking about how the women in Japan are like, "We good, we good." They don't want it. They don't want it. The women in Japan are like, nah, we good. We don't want it. Because I don't think this is what it was saying. It's customary in Japan that if the woman gets married to the man and she has kids, she leaves the workforce to take care of the kids and his parents and her parents, right? And he is responsible for taking care of the parents, right? Right. So now the question becomes, like, do you want to really sign up for that? You want to sign up to be taking care of people? Oh yeah, cruising the park was the big thing. Mosley Park, skating rinks, Golden Glide, Sparkles in Atlanta. Yeah. Now you blame them 70s and 80s folks. Them boomers, boy. Now, I tell you, them boomers was something else. But yeah, the Japanese women are like, we don't want to do it. We don't want to. I don't want to take care of your mama and daddy. I don't want to take care of my mama and daddy like that full time. It's not something I'm interested in. Can you blame them? So the women are opting out. The women don't want to date. They even got incentives for men, because the women are like, I don't want to date and be broke and be taking um, care of your folks. I don't want to do that. Look, check this out. So I just looked up this. Here's the title. Money to move. Families offer millions in yen to relocate from Tokyo to rural areas. Japan plans to boost financial support to households to move away from the capital to combat depopulation in other areas of the country, according to the until multiple local reports. We need to get you out of here, right? Eligible families in Tokyo metropolitan area will be able to receive 1 million yen, that's 7,700 per child, starting in fiscal year 2023 if they move to a disadvantaged local area, more than triple the 300,000 yen incentive already in place, the report says. The financial incentive highlight challenges that Japan is facing with its low birth rates and long life expectancy. Rural areas have seen a rapid depopulation as the young move away for opportunities in the cities, leaving the localities dotted with empty homes and contending with dwindling tax revenues. The increased support for the children comes on top of a flat 1 million yen that families can get for moving. Under the new proposal, a household with two children could receive 3 million yen in support if they left Tokyo area. Japan's national government began this initiative to attract people to regions to region areas in 2019, allowing households to have lived in central Tokyo metropolitan for 5 years to apply for support if they move. Families can continue to work remotely at their current job, work at a small or medium-sized business or start a business in the local area, which will allow them to apply for even more financial support. The scheme was 1,184 household participants in 2021 compared to 71 just last year. Right? They're like, look, people ain't come, they not living out here in these rural areas. You ain't got nothing for us, right? They ain't trying to do it. Now let's go back and look at these incentives they got for men, right? Because the women are like, we don't want to be here. Yeah, we'll talk about that balloon flying over. Yeah, right. In Japan, couples can get $5,000, right, for just getting married. In Japan, couples can soon get $5,000 for just getting married. They're not getting married. They're not having your children. Something wrong, right? And this is happening across the world, right? If happily ever after is not enough, an incentive for Japan to get married, maybe this is. From next April, the Japanese government will start giving newlyweds 600,000 yens or 5,600 or 5,660 with the hopes of boosting the country's declining rate. Thank you, Ed. This will apply to those who live in a municipality that adopts the new marriage life support project. According to Japan network TBS News, the grant is meant to help cover expenses for the new life, like rent. Incentivizing marriages is not new in Japan. Right now, about 281 municipalities offer a grant or 300,000 yen, and this is older. This is 2022. There's a newer one to newlywed couples to which both partners are 34 years old or younger and have a combined household income less than 45,000 in U.S. dollars, starting in April. And what women are also saying, what I've been seeing, well, because I went dug into this, they're like, I don't want to get married to you and struggle and had kids, and I have to walk away from my job. And usually, the way the inheritance works, from what I'm gathering, is that if the woman has an inheritance, it doesn't go to her if she doesn't have any men in her family, right? I could be quoting this wrong. It goes to the man that she married for him to handle. And the women are like, well, if I don't get married, then it don't go to him. It just go to me. Why are you giving what we have in our family to this man that I married to? Because he's supposed to be the man. And the women are like, no, stop that. Just leave that to me. We'll take care of that. All right. So, and then I was reading here in the US, it used to be that in the 90s, women and men would start having kids and being married around 26. Now it's 30. It keeps increasing. And as we saw this week with Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay, Shay Shay is 55 and never been married, right? 55 and never been married, right? So the idea about what marriage looks like looks different for everyone. The idea of what marriage looks like and could be is different for everybody. What is the same and will always be the same is the wealth that you build for yourself and your family and death. Those will be the same. Those will be the same. So, make your investments wisely. All right, so let's get into it. Dividend calendar. I try to bring this up every week for those that want to follow the trend of investing in stocks that have dividends. Again, you already know the two. Drop in the chat what are the two that I talk about all the time. That's actually three. Drop the two or drop the three. It's actually three of them that I talk about all the time. And I'm not talking about stocks, but what are their titles? They have increasing dividends for the past 25 years, increasing dividends for the past 50 years, increasing dividends for the past 10 years. I believe the one that I'm talking about is for the past 10 years. Yep, Aristocrat is one. What's the other one? Yep, there's another one. It's one more. You may not guess it. It's called Champions. It's called Champions. Right? And I think champions are out to 10 years. All right. So on my screen, I have the dividend calculator from the NASDAQ. This is who's paying out on Monday, their dividends that they're paying out. So I want to, those that are into chips, ASML is a payment dividend on 215. The dividend is $1.267, $1 and I guess 27 cents. The annual dividend is $5, right? Those are not familiar with ASML, you can go look them up. Ticker symbol ASML. Um, you can see D Horton is on here. Did y'all hear about KB Homes? Did y'all hear about KB Homes? They were talking about KB Homes maybe going bankrupt. Or I know they stock dropped. I know there were some issues with KB Homes. Ethan Allen, which I didn't know Ethan Allen was publicly traded. They are publicly traded. They have a dividend of 32 cents, annual dividend of $1.28. And what I do like about this, I think you can sort this by what's going to pay out the highest dividend. So we got Sunco, we got NFE, New Fortress Energy. We have Magellan Midstream Partners. We got Alliance Resource Partners. So you can see, what their annual dividend payout is, right? Intel was having problems this week, right? So come to this. MetLife is doing $2, but you can come on here and look through and see who's paying out a dividend, when you should be in it, and so forth. And they have it set up for every day of the week there. Then also, again, if we go back to market activity, you can see who is IPOing this week, who has an IPO coming out. Let's see, February 23rd. Here's who's coming out with their IPO as well too, right? So again, keeping up with IPOs, keeping up with who's doing what as far as their dividends. Again, some people have just an investment portfolio where they only have aristocrats, where they only have kings, or they only have just a dividend portfolio, or they got a mix of all of multiple ones, right? It depends on how you want to mix those up, right? So again, those that have not invested, it only takes $5 to invest. You can buy $5 worth of Apple. There's no need not to have it. The money that you go spend at KFC, Taco Bell, whatever the case may be, could be the very same money you take and invest into a stock for, for $5, right? You know, so hold yourself accountable for that. Hold others around you accountable for that as well too. All right. So I mentioned CDs earlier. Um, and I was looking up and I saw that there's a CD from Capital One, and you could go on Bankrate. We'll go over there in a minute. But Capital One has one for 5% for 11 months. 5% for 11 months. What I gathered on this one, I didn't look into it. You could go look into it for yourself. Um, I know for a fact the ones that were at 4.15 for a year, there was no minimum you had to meet. Like you didn't have to have $500 to invest into it or whatnot. But double check that one from Capital One to make sure that it's not $500 a minimum. But again, 5% for a year, just leave it in there and just let it do its thing. The easiest money you'll ever make is letting it sit there, letting $500 sit there and collect 4%. Not a lot of money. I'm not telling you it's a lot of money. I'm just telling you it's slow money, something easily you could do, especially of those um that got some money just laying around and you're like, I don't know what to do with it and I don't know when I'm gonna do something with it. Just throw it in a money market account if you want to, or you could throw it into a CD and keep it pushing. All right. So let's go over here to bank rate. Um, Let's see what they talking about on CD rates. See what they pulling back. Uh, yep, see Capital One 5. Marcus is 4.4, and the one for 5 is no minimum under deposit. Marcus is 4.4. City is 4.65. Alliant 4.6. BMO 4.5. And you can see they have minimums of a year. This one is 11 months, right? And you don't have to like them either. Again, I talked about this before. Bond laddering, you can do CD laddering as well too. You can do bond laddering and CD laddering. It's all on you. So it's your money, but just don't be on the sideline not doing anything. Right? That's my first one. All right, let me pull over what I want to talk about next. All right. So I saw this week, which I found very interesting. Um, and I want to talk about the impact that it could have. So in Denver, they're saying um, Colorado, it's a bill that will bar Colorado employers from seeking information that reveals job seekers' age during the application process. Right. So there was a memo that came out yesterday from Amazon. It got leaked, stating that they're going back to hiring, but they're only hiring college grads, young college grads, and I guess people who are like getting into the workforce for the first time, right? So now the question is, if this bill goes through in Colorado, what if it went nationally? What impact would that have nationally? Would you want to see something like that? When somebody's asking you about your age. I know some people who are older have faced age discrimination. It's a true thing, right? It's a real thing. So the question is, would you like to see something like this nationwide? And if you don't want to see something like this nationwide, put it in the chat. I'm gonna give you my perspective on it. Um, do I think we need something like this? Yes. But I also think there needs to be, I don't want to say sensitivity training, but I also want to say that um, and this doesn't happen when you get older, it happens when you're young too. Um, there are certain jobs that you have the temperament for, and certain jobs you don't. And you gotta, as you navigate your uh, place in tech and navigate how you want to be seen in tech and where you want to be in tech, I think this right here is one of those things, right? So when I say that, I'm talking about it from this perspective. If you want to be in tech and you want to be at a startup, and you know that the startup is go 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 go, you're gonna be long nights, especially if they're just new getting off the ground. If it's a mid, if they've been around for a while, it may not be as strenuous. If you have, if you, and when I say been around for a while, I'm talking about maybe 4 years to 6 years. And then there are some startups that have never IPO'd and they've been around for like 10 years, right? So they're a little bit more established. So now the question's gotta be, what's your temperament? What's your I don't want to say your pace temperament. Like, do you want something that's fast paced moving? Do you want something that's laid back? Do you want something that's a little mix of the two? Do you want to work for somebody that has the ability where you can be on a fast paced team or a slow paced team? What's your temperament? What are you looking at? Right. So that's something that you all have to ask yourself, right? You have to ask yourself. Now, what does this do with this particular bill? Let's read on into it right here so you get a little better understanding. Right. A new bill advancing through the Colorado legislature would close what AARP calls a loophole in a state discrimination law banning employees from asking for information that could reveal an applicant's age. Just a thought right here, right? Some people retire at 50, and maybe after sitting around 1 or 2 years, they want to go back to work. So they're 52 when they go back. And when it's time to go back to work, people may not want to hire them at 52, or you may retire. Or some people don't want to work with people past 40. Some that There are some people out there that don't want to work past people past 40. Y'all say between 30 and 35 you didn't hit the wall. And you're old. So I mean, I don't know what you say to somebody at 50. They a dinosaur. I don't know, but again, some people still have that fast paced temperament. Some people like to hire older people because of the stability. They know they're gonna get up, they're gonna come to work, they're gonna do what they need to do. They may have an attitude, but they're gonna do what they need to do and keep it pushing. Some of you young folks, y'all just don't come back. Y'all just like, I don't want to do that no more. I ain't going back. They'll figure it out. Right. So again, it depends on the temperament, the job. Where do you see yourself? Right. Like I say, let me know what you think about this. In addition to being prohibited from explicitly asking the age, the Job Application Fairness Act will also bar employees from requesting other dates on applications, like when someone attended or graduated from high school or college. It builds an existing federal law which prohibits discrimination based on a person's age and further limits the ways employers can puzzle out those details. Those limitations apply when during job seekers' initial application process. Bill sponsor and wheat-rich Democrat Senator Jesse Danielson told fellow lawmakers Thursday the bill wouldn't bar employees from verifying that the applicants have necessary certifications or background. She said, nor would it open the door for juvenile Coloradans to apply for jobs outside of their age range. I don't know what outside of their age range is, right? But again, a lot of time when you're filling out this stuff, this is what I don't like about some of the job processes. It says, hey, you got a gap in your resume. What will we don't, you got to be able to explain that gap, right? And what I've always wondered is me explaining that gap, is that going to make or break you? Like, I took some time off to do some mental things, whatever, and now I'm back. It lends itself towards like the job, the resume process and interview. It lends itself towards like you could never take a break. Like you could never relax. Like how dare you take off 6 months to go study? How dare you take off 6 months to go be with your child? How dare you take off to go take care of a parent? How dare you take off to just relax? Like you just wanted to relax. And you're like, hey, I'm cool. I'll get back to it when I get back to it. It lends itself towards that. Now, I never understood that. You said it says I want to break into tech within the next 2 or 3 years, looking for laid back jobs. What are your thoughts on where to start researching? I don't know what laid back jobs are. Um, I don't know what that means. Laid back, you mean not working on call, not working weekends. They're doing 10-hour days, so it's 4 days a week, or I'm not sure on that one. If you could clarify, that'd be great. But again, let me know what y'all think about this bill. They're passing it here they're trying to pass it here in Colorado. I just thought it was interesting because I've never really seen bills that say, okay, well, don't ask about the person's when they graduated from high school or college or that nature, to try to put a timeline on how old someone is, right? And how long they've been working. Right. All right. So let me go get my next topic. All right. Here we go. This is the one that I was talking about with Amazon hiring. All right. So this one here states that um, leaked was an Amazon memo that shows it only wants to hire students and new grads for entry level software roles. Right. Only hire students and new grads for entry level software roles, right? So what does that mean? You're welcome, Cassandra, for that bill. So what does that mean? That means maybe someone who is 40 went back, did a boot camp, and wants to then go apply and work at Amazon, but because they're only hiring, I don't know if new grads falls under the boot camp. We don't know what that means. Um, and students, we don't know what that means. All right, we don't know what that means. All right, so let's get into it here. After so many people were cut, the middle managers now have fewer workers to oversee. This makes them natural for the next layoff target. I honestly feel bad for middle managers, as the name implies. They're stuck in the middle, neither worker nor upper management, and they don't need to try. They don't need to try keeping everyone happy. Meanwhile, a study even found that they're more likely to be anxious and depressed. But if Zuck is on point, far few people could hold these precarious roles, at least that matter. Anyways, I'm just a worker. They're trying to share. Is this not the article? Hmm. Let's see. I don't know why that article came up right here in the middle of that. But anyway, linked Amazon memo revealed that a new hiring strategy. The e-commerce giant is only hiring students and new grads for entry level positions per its internal note reviewed by Insider. And this went into effect January 25th on 2023. People more than 12 months out of school won't qualify anymore for the lowest software development engineering position. This means hiring from student programs now is an even higher priority. The change is global and Amazon wide, reports insiders. ACE, Amazon correspondent Eugene Kim, plus exceptions require approvals of BPs or hires. It's possibly a cost cutting method for infamously frugal company. The pivot targets a younger and more affordable group of workers, and it comes in the middle of a major restructuring in the company. And here's more on the strategy here. Let's see. All right. The change will mean that those who have been out 12 months, internal node, global and wide, it's also affordable as experienced engineers tend to command higher. The student programs have been an important part of the hiring pool for the company in recent years, but some engineers believe Amazon has lowered the bar for recent hires. As Insider reported, the company dropped its renowned bar raiser interview process for some entry level positions last year. August Aldobot Green of Amazon told Insider the implication that we have lowered our hiring bar is incorrect. We have well over 1 million employees, and while we value everyone's opinion, just because a few say something isn't true doesn't make it true. Amazon cut 18,000 people. It shut down a number of projects and teams over the past year in order to cut costs amid significant slowdowns. Overhauling their engineering culture has been a priority for Amazon. An internal staff meeting in 2021, Jassy told employees that he was aware of the developer complaints at the company and the engineering culture needed to meaningfully better than what it is today. Right? Um, they said still some employees say Amazon is losing in intensity. A slower bureaucratic culture has seeped in, internally dubbed day two. Right. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Amazon is only going after new grads and recent graduates in their SDE one, software development engineering one, meaning coming out of school, you won't be competing with the olders, but yes, the salaries will be lower, and you will be, um, you will be working up the chain. But then I wonder who manages these SDE ones coming in. I wonder what does that look like. Is that someone who's 4 years removed, 5 years removed, someone older? What is the mentorship looks like? Natasha, you said age discrimination could be. Could be. But what about the people that come out of school and can't get a job because they don't have 3 to 5 years, and someone with 3 to 5 years applies for SDE, and of course they probably get it over somebody who's only coming out of school, you know, depending, right? It's really dependent. There's a lot of variables there, right? All right. So next up, talked about a couple of age discriminations there. Talked about a couple of age discriminations there. But let's talk. We talked a little bit about Chat GPT on on the last week's show. On last week's show, but here's what they're saying that the jobs that GPT could replace. Right. Here's the title. Let me scroll up. Doo doo. This ad needs to go away. Come on. It's a long title. Chat GPT may be coming for our jobs. Here are the 10 roles that AI is most likely to replace. All right. I'm not going to read this just yet. I was thinking about this. Now, here's some jobs that I don't think will that Chat GPT could erase, or even AI. Plumbers, I don't see that. I don't see plumbing going away. Um I don't see I don't see people who come out to replace your windshield going away, but I could see like a delivery van come up and maybe a door slide open and a robot gets out and it comes over and looks and then replaces the window. It wouldn't assist from the person who's doing that. So I don't see that going away. Um, see what else do I not see going away? The need for car hand details going away. Um, as you get your car washed, I don't see that going away. Um, Engineering cannabis. I thought about cooks, I don't think I think cooks could go away, but I don't think chefs go away. I think people still want, you know, here's what I think. Here's when you say cooks and chefs. Here's what I think. I think maybe AI creates a cookbook, creates some recipes to assist the chef, but not get rid of the chef, right? Maybe there's a start there, but I don't think you get rid of the chef. Waiters, yes. Greeters, mm, I think there's still a human aspect when you go out to eat that you still want. Um, I don't know. Just imagine walking into Papados or Red Lobster or Roof Chris, and there's a robot standing there that says, "Hey, we got this available," and there's no conversation, no nothing. I don't know how that looks. Yeah, they're working on fully automated restaurants, but I don't think like their higher end chains. When I say higher end, I mean like your Capital Grills will be fully automated. I just don't see Capital Grill being fully automated. It could be in the back, but when they go to sit people, the people go out to eat for an experience, right? People go out to eat for an experience, and then they can't get an experience, they're not going there, right? So even if they automate stuff, people still want an experience, right? I can see Macy's and Nordstrom's maybe having some automated checkouts, instead of having someone stand there or whatnot. They've already cut back the number of cashiers that they have anyway. But I don't see, for me go get my bra fitted, a robot coming into the room with me to help me get my bra fitted. Like I don't, those kind of things I don't see. I think they're still, no, we're not talking about McDonald's for an eating experience. We're talking about Capital Grill, Roof Chris, um, maybe even something like a steakhouse, like a fine a 5-star steakhouse. I don't see people getting served with robots. I can see robots assisting in some areas, but I don't see a total not need for a human, is what I'm saying. I think in some areas, yes, but I don't see not a total not need for humans. I think there's still a human aspect that comes with eating out, right? Um, of course, anywhere there's like Fogo the Child, I don't see robots coming by slicing off meat and, and you picking it off. I don't see that. I don't see nothing like that. I don't see that. But I do see maybe maybe the robots assisting somewhere inside the restaurant. But I just don't see a robot coming up to me, slicing off my meat and me pulling it off in Fogo. I don't see that. I don't see that. Maybe rolling by the salad bar to look to see what's out and sending back to the kitchen that this is out. I see that. Um, but I don't. Yeah, certain things I don't see. I think there's still a human element that has to happen. Do we see like D anybody? Do y'all see back in Atlanta we used to have little chicken stands, little chicken wing chicken stands. They'd be attached to the back of the truck. They would be in a parking lot. He fried some chicken wings, throw some seasoned salt on some French fries. He got some type of drink or something like that. I don't see robots doing that. I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody rolling up with the robot at the chicken wing stop. Right? I'm sorry. I don't see that. Right? I think there's still a human factor that has to happen. I don't see a robot standing at the chicken wing spot. Nah, If I go to the chicken wing spot, like, see, I have all kind of thoughts in my head, right? Right? So this robot get programmed or whatnot. I'm thinking about this. This just Tamika. Does the robot recognize that that's a rat and that's a roach? Get it wrong. If we got robots in the kitchen, does the robot recognize that's a rat or a roach? Or while the robot is flipping the meat, a roach done landed on the meat. Does the robot recognize there's a rat or a roach? I got questions. Like I say, I think it's still some human element that has to exist. I'm sorry. I go in there, he just flipping the meat, and then he serve it up, and I open up, the roach done got squashed on the meat. Like, I got questions. I'm sorry. I think there still has to be some human eyes at these restaurants. I don't care how y'all slice it. Just because it's a robot don't mean a rat and a roach ain't gonna crawl. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. that robot is just gonna flip it and smash it. I'm just saying. Every time I look at these videos, all I see is the robot flipping stuff, and I be like, "Well, what if a rat or a roach done landed on that? Does he know it? It's just gonna just say, oh, that's a rat and a roach. Swipe left, right, and it's gonna swipe it off and still serve it up to you. Like, what what's in play here? What is in play here? Again, this goes back to my original statement. There has to be some type of human element or some type of protocol put in place. I just don't see that. I'm sorry. Heather G says, yeah, I'm quite sure it has recognition to identify that it is a rat or a roach. But what do I do with this meat once I have seen that? What do I do with this meat ever I've seen that, right? Am I going to toss this meat, right? And then it gets into the bigger question is, if it sees a rat or a roach, we're going to come in, we're going to spray, we're going to look for, whatever. When it goes into the meat locker or whatnot, does it recognize that those are rat droppings or what have you? Is it recognizing that? Because these are still restaurants. Let's not get it twisted. They still restaurants. Yeah, still humans gotta be playing. Like cleaning the chicken. Did it clean the chicken good? What is the classification of cleaning chicken good? All right. I'm just asking. We keep talking about these jobs and robots. I think there still has to be some type of human element. Can you imagine you sitting there Fogo the child and you go to pick off your meat and some kind of animal been rotisserie rolling on the meat? Whatever. You may not like it, but these are thoughts. Don't be next to me, dear. Don't be next to me. These are my Tam's random thoughts. This ain't petty tea. These are just things I think about when I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, so when they cook this meat, does the robot clean that off before it start cooking? Does it clean off the grill before it start cooking? Because I know when I worked at Wendy's, we walked back in from the night before. We still go back and clean it off because we're like, hey, we don't know what's going on, what happened overnight. We're gonna clean it off. Does the robot clean it off? How much of human does it have? Right? How much human does it have? Mm-mm. Engineering cannabis program, all rules, guidelines that help. Yeah, but here's the thing: engineering cannabis, even as humans, even as humans, there's still error. And you can't. I don't care how much you automate that process. I don't care what you're talking about. If you standing there watching that robot fix your meat, and And on the wings of love comes flying down. It was like on the wings of love come flying down and land on your meat and then start turning around and be like, you see, mate? You see, mate? I'm just saying. I'm just saying there is going you're going to freak out because you're gonna be like, I know he's not finna give me on the wings of love meat and that robot be like, your order is ready and just slide out there. You gonna be like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. Just remember on this day, on February the 4th of 2023, Petty T stated there is a possibility you could be getting roach meat, roach and rat meat. I'm just saying. Yeah. Hey, we do need a rat and roach data model. I don't care what y'all talking about. All right, so peep this one. Do you imagine going to a Chinese buffet and they got robots in there? Okay. On the wings of love, yes. LTD. It might have been just Jeffrey Osborne, but it may be LTD. You might have to look that up. It might be Jeffrey Osborne. It may be LTD. On the wings of love, maybe LTD. Yeah, you say they've been addressed. I don't believe it, engineering cannabis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Have you worked at a fast food restaurant? Have you seen how them critters be moving? They don't come out when you there. They don't come out when you there. They do not come out when you there. Them robots are gonna be deactivated at night. Them roaches is gonna be out there like the creepy and the spooky. They're gonna come right on out. Stop it. No, no. I'm sorry. So moving on. What roles is ChatGPT likely to replace? The roles that ChatGPT what they're saying. I'm gonna skip whatever. I'm gonna talk about it. Tech jobs, coders, computer programmers, software engineers, data analysts. That's what they're saying. Coding and computer programming are in high demand, but it's possible that ChatGPT and similar AI tools may fill in some of the gaps in the near future. Tech jobs such as software developers, web developers, computer programmers, coders, data scientists, pretty amenable to AI technologies displacing more of their work. That's because AI like ChatGPT is good at crunching numbers with relative accuracy, right? And then they go on a little bit more into about ChatGPT and OpenAI and so forth. I got to go dig into OpenAI. I've been following OpenAI for some time now, um, but we'll talk about it. Media jobs, advertising, content creation, technical writing, journalism, right? Let's see what's next. Legal industry, paralegals, and legal assistants. Now, let's stop there. Do you see Chat GPT replacing financial analysts, traders, financial planners, money coaches, so forth and so on, right? See, have you seen a five-star hotel robots on wheels delivery to doors? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, the delivery to doors is fine because guess what? Somebody cooked it in the kitchen, they boxed it up, and they put it in, and the robot went off and did his thing. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm fine. I just don't see the robot flipping my burger and flicking a roach. I don't see that. I don't see that. I see the roach gonna get cooked. I'm sorry. All right. The next one up is market research analysts. Right. I don't say I can't say that they'll get replaced. I'll say they'll probably help the market research analysts. I can say that. Mm. Teachers, So ChatGPT is going to replace teachers. Taking over the lower level functions and roles. Yeah, Queen Lee, I am not crazy. I am not crazy. I'm just stating the obvious. Engineering cannabis, yeah, that won't. Yeah, I'm. That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna always be not a non-human element there. That's all I'm saying. So, teachers, are robots teaching your teachers? I mean, robots teaching your children in school. What does that look like? What does that curriculum look like? Um, what does that do to the human connection between student and teacher? What does that look like? Replacing teachers. Is it to assist the teacher or do we replace the teacher? I think these are some questions that we have to ask ourselves. You know, we say we want all this automation, we want these robots. Can Chat GPT replace a teacher? I found this very interesting to be on the list. I could see assisting, but replacing. Can a robot teach your 5-year-old? Is your robot would your robot be, would your student be okay with that? Would your child be okay with that? Maybe if you start in the home, right? I mean, we had think about it. We had robots growing up. Do y'all remember the this? Well, it was Speak and Spell, but before that, it was Alfie 80s learning toy. I don't know if y'all remember Alfie. I had this one. This was Alfie. This was Alfie. Here it is right here. Then somebody got a vintage for $49.99. Right? You put in the little punch cards and you have to figure out, you know, what they say the color, you pick the color and so forth and so on. Right? So we've been getting robots for a while, right? Learning tools for a while. So a robot can teach a 5-year-old. The AI will be designed taking your child's personality and learning capabilities. Yeah, how could robots handle questions? Right? What teachers are they pulling from for personality wise? How do you give what personality are you gonna give this robot, or what personality are you gonna pull from to give this robot? Right? These are things I'm talking about here. All right. So teachers, it says teachers across the country are worried about students using ChatGPT to teach on their homework, but according to Ping Shi, an associate dean in the Department of Computing and Information Sciences of Rochester Technology, RIT. RIT is another place that got they got jobs, right? All schools, all college schools, all colleges have an engineering department and an IT department. So if y'all looking for jobs, go work at the schools, the colleges. You get your state benefits, pensions, so forth and so on. Just a FYI. They should be thinking about job security, right? Although it has bugs and inaccuracies in terms of knowledge, this can easily be improved, he said. Basically, you need to train the chat GPT. Finance jobs, financial analysts and personal financial advisors. We've already seen Charles Schwab, which got sued, by the way, come out with their robo advisor, right? Robo advisor. I talked about this last year, the robo advisor. Um, you don't want to be bothered with X, Y, Z. You don't want to hire somebody. You could use a robo advisor. Let's continue. Let's say you want to grow investments for the future, or you want to stay invested while taking regular withdrawals. Well, let's say I want to do something for the future here. You hit next. You saving for retirement, something special, build long term wealth. What are you doing? Let's say we're doing build long term wealth. Come here. What is your understanding about stocks, bonds, and ETF? I'll say good. I'll say good. When you hear risk related to your finances, what is the first thought that comes to mind? I think it's a thrill of investing. I see opportunities for great returns. I understand that it's an inherent part of the investing process. I worry that I would be left without nothing. Let's say I think the thrill of investing. And you can go on the website and do this. Have you ever experienced 20% loss? Absolutely. You was investing last year, you did. What did you do when you experienced 20% loss? Did you sell, reallocated your investments, bought more? What do you say? Let's say I bought more. How would you describe your approach to making important financial decisions? I confidently make decisions and don't look back. I'm reluctant. I reluctantly make decisions. I try to avoid making decisions. I confidently make decisions. Let's go there. All right. So here it is. And let me blow this up some. All right. So it says, how much do you want to start investing? Let's say you got a sign-on bonus, you want to make it have some money. Let's throw in 10,000, and I'll read your comments in a minute. How many years from now will you start need to start investing funds? How many years from now will you need to start withdrawing funds from this account? Say 25 years, okay. And how much would you contribute every month? Oh, let's say I contributed. I'm gonna be nice and say 1,500 a month, right? So it says if I do it at 1,500 a month, here we go. I could end up for the next 25 years. This is a robo investor, right? And retire in 2048 at 1.3 million. If I did it at 25, well, if I did 1,000, I mean 2,500, I would be at 1.364. We go at 3,500. What are we looking like? Is it changing for me? It's not changing. I need for this to change. Let me see. Maybe it's not changing because it's like it really ain't gonna make a break. Let's see. No, it didn't change. Let's get it to change. 1,500. Oh, I guess I need to change it here for it to work. I didn't think I needed to do that, but let's go at 5,000. Enter. Nope, it's not changing. That's not good. What's the purpose of this then? You're supposed to. Oh, there we go. I guess it takes some time. It needed some time to calculate that. That'll be at 4.5 million. Let me see if I go back over here. Will it change? It's not changing. Not changing. Not changing. Yeah, so you had to change it here. They got to work on that. You got to come up here and change it right here. So we're gonna go at 1,000. Hit enter. I just hit enter at 1,000, and it's not changing. So I'm in Chrome. There we go. And I guess it takes time. I don't know why it takes so long. On it's giving you the average, but it also shows you that what the worst case scenario could be, what the average could be, and if you look right here, you can see better if you're looking right here, it could be here, but they're just showing you what the average could be. It's just an average, right? Let me read your comments here. Let me scroll back up. How would the robot handle questions? Would it help to increase your child's critical thinking when the answer when they get the answer? I'm assuming. How can robots handle kids with behavior or abuse issues? Those are questions that I have. Yes, AI would take in data from top teachers. Okay, but okay, define top teachers, and is that a race thing as well when we're talking about that? Also, personality. Remember, this is data driven. It's data driven, but somebody has to be willing to contribute the data, right? How would a generation of kids raised on robots come out? Again, I don't. I Tamika's random thoughts. I think the idea of marriage goes away within the next, I don't know, maybe the next 20 years, maybe the next 10. And when I say the idea of marriage goes away, meaning that in Japan they're already giving incentives for people to just be couples living in the same household and not married. But what I'm also simply saying is the idea of marriage goes away, will be compounded by the fact that you're being taught by a robot. Um, there is still some evidence that that'll stay, but I don't think I think the human disconnection goes even further, and we see that now. I don't know if you all are out and I can tell when I'm out and about and I'm meeting people. I think a lot of people have a human disconnect. You can say hello, hey, how you doing? People look at you crazy, like, oh, well, hello, oh, wow, like you really saying hello to me? Like there's some element of human disconnect there. The movie Megan, yep, I could be wrong, but this sounds like it's coming to help the lazy. I don't know. I got a little something on there. I got a little something on there. Um, ChatGPT can't replace web dev coders. Not right now. Oh yeah, not right now. It can help curate. It can help curate. Exactly. What is the top teacher? What element does that look like? Right? Where are you finding the top teacher at per district, per area? What does that look like? What schools will have access to robots and the type of curriculum that may be presented, right? um I still think there's a human element there. I don't know how I feel about my child being taught by a robot for 8 hours. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think on that one. But this is a robo advisor that they said, like financial analysts and money coaches. This is one of those things. The next one up is traders. That goes away. um, Graphic designers, accountants goes away. Customer service agents, we've been seeing that one, and that was it right there. Right? What are your thoughts? Do you think customer service agents go away? You call Progressive, you call Geico, you got a claim, you need to give your side, you need to do your testimony. They're like, yeah, based on what you talked about, nah, that goes away. Yeah, that's already happening. Accountants, would you turn your tax information over to a robot? Does it knows all the laws and what you can do and what you can't do? How and here's why I asked that question. I asked that question because this is gonna force the interpretation of laws not to be gray. Because a lot of laws are very gray. So how does a robot interpret something? Is it going to be binary, or there's going to be some gray to play with in there, right? Is there still some gray in there, right? So again, I want y'all to think about these jobs that you think are going away and what not. I got that one little piece of hair sticking up in the back. It's doing its thing. Chat GPT want to call that. I'm just playing. All right. What goes away? What stays? Can ChatGPT replace um can ChatGPT replace teachers? All right. So let's look at this. America is failing to prepare the workforce due to the Gen Z to enter the workforce due to the glaring gap in tech skills. Here's why I brought up the Chat GPT first. This is why I brought up Chat GPT first. I brought up Chat GPT first because of this, and then I'm going to go into another. We talked about this before. Some of your feelings are going to be hurt, but it's okay. America is failing to prepare Gen Z to enter the workforce due to a glaring gap in tech skills. Now, I want y'all to ponder on that for a minute. Ponder on that for a minute. I want to pull this up and then we're going to look at this because I've talked about it, but there's a little bit more in depth detail on this topic. And I think you all will find it interesting. Let me pull this over and because okay, Gen Z is workforce entering the workforce has a glaring skills tech skills. All right, so if that's the case, that's the issue, right? They have a problem with the workforce, but let's go in depth to this article here. So that this I talked about this a few weeks ago, but now this one goes back to millions of men in their prime working age, and they're doing 25 to 54 are leaving the workforce. So Gen Z has a skill gap. Men are leaving the workforce. So who's going to be left to work? Who's going to do the work? Women are not marrying and reproducing as well, right? Who's going to do the work? Who's going to do the work? Men are leaving. Gen Z can't enter because they don't have the skills. Who's going to be left to do the work? I'm just asking. What does that work look like? So you understand now the rise with automation and AI and so forth. And when you look at this report, when you break down the numbers here about what people are doing, it gets even scarier, right? It gets even scarier, right? All right. So I don't see what you see on the screen. I have this up, but you're not seeing what I see on the screen. Is how much of a delay is that? Because that's not what I'm seeing. You don't, yeah, see, you're not seeing what I see on my screen. Let me look and see because I thought I was sharing the right screen. Let me look and make sure I got the right window shared. I just want the screen. See, you're not seeing my screen. I don't like it. Hmm. Why are you not seeing my screen? This is not how this is supposed to go. Let me get out of wide mode right here, and maybe you'll see my screen. Yep, you see my screen now. Because I wasn't seeing it. Okay. I don't know why it's saying exit full screen. We'll exit full screen because apparently you can't see it when I'm full screen. I don't know why. All right, let's go.
So bravo topic. We're talking about jobs and a major hiring crisis. A problem really bigger and older than the great resignation you've heard so much about. It's a problem you're not going to find in the unemployment rate, which is, of course, at near record lows. And it's because a large number of American men in particular, men in their prime working years, are actually not working, and they're not even looking for work. The result is a bit of a mystery and also a major hole in the American economy.
My name's Mike Rowe, and this is my job.
Of all the jobs he's done over the past 20 years.
Now get ready to get dirty.
And Mike Rowe has done them all as the host of Dirty Jobs on Discovery.
From machines to dump. Oh, now it's dirty jobs, isn't it? The hoses that suck. Cheap.
He's never claimed to be an economist.
Thank you.
But while taping the series during the Great Recession of 2008, he did notice something important.
All anybody was talking about was the number of people who were out of work. But on dirty jobs, even then, everywhere we went, we saw help wanted signs.
It turns out dozens of real-life economists and other researchers have a possible explanation: a long-term decline in male labor force participation, or as one think tank summarized it, men not at work.
This is a men problem by and large, right?
Seems to be.
Look back to the 1950s, and 98% of men in their so-called prime working years had a job or were looking for one. That number has fallen ever since, to the point where today more than 7 million men have essentially dropped out of the workforce.
We've given a lot of people a lot of options. And incredibly, one of those options is do nothing. Do nothing.
Rowe and I met at Empire Metal,
All right. He said we're giving too many people too many options. And one of the options is do nothing, right? So the question becomes, like, I'm really serious about this because, and this is why I'm bringing this up again. One, there's more information here. Another reason why I'm bringing this up is because as you progress in life and you're trying to figure out where your skills are going to be, this is an indication of companies and businesses that you can make or acquire. Baby boomers are leaving the workforce as well. So we got three things going on here. Baby boomers are leaving the workforce and they're selling their businesses. Gen Z doesn't have enough skills to get a job and men are leaving. It's a huge opportunity. And let me back up. Let me start over. Baby boomers are leaving, meaning they're selling their businesses. Gen Z don't have enough skills to get a job. Men are leaving the workforce. And one other thing that I'm missing that I just had on top of my head, I just forgot. And the other issue is we're not marrying to create kids as well too. Right? So we got four things going on all at the same time. Oh, five things. The ability to afford a home to live in has risen, so we have more homeless people and we have less houses to live in. So now we have six things going on. It's more than a quad. It's more than a quad. This little piece is getting on my nerves. And that little piece is too. So we got six different threats. I'm gonna do it again. One, baby boomers leaving, meaning they're selling off businesses, or businesses will die, right? Gen Z doesn't have enough tech skills to replace whatever. We're not getting married, so we're not producing more kids. We don't have affordable housing, and we got men leaving the workforce. So who is it on? And what businesses would you be creating or buying in order to continue to create wealth? And let me reel that back too. How would generational wealth be created? How are we going to create generational wealth? Right? So these are things to think about. And think about them in a perspective of not of you just being a worker. Think about a perspective of opportunity for you to be able to get into owning a business, acquiring a business, real estate, creating a need where you see fit. Assisted living facilities are going to be booming. I think assisted living facilities are not going to start at that age of when people retire. Assisted living facilities are going to house people much younger, which we already see in your 40s. Nurses are leaving. We just saw the whole big debacle with the nurses in Florida, right? Right. You don't know who you're getting help from. You don't know who you're getting help from, right? Just saying. These are things to think about. All right, let's get back to it.
And finishing shop in Queens, New York, and where, much like manufacturing shops nationwide, finding skilled workers like these is a growing challenge.
We have more jobs than we have people for. About 1.5 jobs for every 1 worker.
Jay Timmons, who leads the National Association of Manufacturers, describes all this as a profound problem for the companies he represents.
99.9% of them will say that their number one challenge right now is being able to fill those open jobs.
So you are here as a representative of more than 14,000 manufacturers in these United States. And the number one problem for 99 out of 100 of them is filling jobs.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be able to say that. But now it's kind of an all hands on deck. We've got to fill these jobs that are open.
And there are nearly 800,000 of those jobs open right now, according to the latest federal count, a number that surged in recent years as companies.
I'm going to pause right there. This is where you're going to see low code, no code come into play. This is where you're going to see automation, low code, no code come into play. So all this ranting and raving and crying that everybody be doing on the internet, talking about they can't find a job, they don't know where to look, they don't know what's going on. This man is reporting 779,000 manufacturing jobs. We just had 500,000 jobs come back yesterday. We're still hiring in tech, despite the layoffs. We're still looking for people. We're still needing people with skills. Gen Z is not there. Baby boomers are leaving. Who gonna help us? Who gonna save us? All right. You want to know what they're doing? They'll tell you in this. Let's go.
Invest in American-made products, or try to anyway. And with manufacturing workers earning more than $30 an hour on average, Timmons says the problem is not pay, but perception.
It used to be dirty, dark, and dangerous. Today, it's very sleek. It's very technology-driven.
And that's what we saw when we visited Electrosoft, a company outside Philadelphia that makes circuit boards for everything from missiles to submarines.
Over there is the quality area where we do first piece article testing, final testing.
But CEO Carla Trotman says they could be doing more if only she had the workers to do it.
How many people work here right now?
30.
How many people do you wish worked here right now?
45.
So you have 15 people that you have jobs for,
Yes.
but you can't find them.
Cannot.
How much money in lost business is there in not being able to hire the people that you want?
around 5 million in top line revenue.
5 million.
Yeah.
That would be here, and that presumably you'd be paying taxes on.
Obviously.
And that would go into people's pockets and would be going out into the broader economy.
Yeah.
What is your theory about where those 15 people are right now?
I honestly have no idea where they are.
She suspects some people may be sitting out because of a recent change in the way many of us look at work.
I think it's fulfillment. I think it's culture. I think people really want to feel as though they are appreciated. I mean, Beyonce's song, she said, release your job. A lot of people release their jobs. They don't, and they realize, I mean, it's an overall feeling of being fed up and being taken for granted.
But there's more, according to one economist. Some non-working men face a skills mismatch. A third have criminal records, making them ineligible for many jobs and making employers hesitant to hire them. And many rely on safety nets, such as disability. So you may
pause for the cause. Pause, Petty T's about to arrive. We have now reached the Petty T moment. I am here. I'm back, Petty T's. Oh. Get my glasses on. Petty T is here. The moment you've been waiting for. It's Petty T time. Put it back up on the screen, D. I don't make the rules. I just read them. So, Stacy G. Put Stacy G question up. Put Stacy G question up, D. Stacy G said, what are the men doing? What are the men doing? Are they starting their own business? Not according to this report. Not according to this report. The report states there is a skills match. Criminal records. I don't make the rules. Don't come. I'm telling you now. If you come for me after this is posted, talking about you over here bashing men, I didn't bash shit. The rule, the report says it's a skills match. You got criminal records and you got safety nets such as disability. We own disability. We don't want to go. We ain't going to work. We finna live this pump as I think what's his name? The money guy. I forget his name. Y'all want to live the pump lifestyle. Shit. Y'all on the couch. Y'all at home with the stay-at-home wives. Hey, what the freak? Is this your king? Is this your king? Like, really? Really? Is this what we're doing? So again, it's not just it's not a quiet threat, it's a sixth threat. It's six. We got threats across the board. And you're talking about the nuclear family and saving the nuclear family. That's all I hear online. Saving the nuclear family. Women want a man that's high value. She want $100,000 man. Do you know that it's only 8% of the men, 8% of the people that make $100,000? Well, shit. What are you gonna do to change it? I say this all the time. What you gonna do to change it? Right? What are you gonna do to change it? You can't change it without skills. I'm just sorry. You can't change it without skills. Yeah, you probably won't hit the lottery no time soon. Congratulations if you did, if you could. Criminal records, ineligible for many jobs. Employers are hesitant to hire, and the ones that do, they're like, I got disability, girl. I mean, I'm not going back into work for that. I don't need that much money to live. And then tell you don't need that much money to live. And then you wonder why the black community can't never get ahead with Let me continue this. Because I could drag y'all all day long, but due to the nature of my job, I will not drag you today. This is enough dragging in this here. It's more to come. This ain't just it, it's more to come. So again, ladies and gentlemen that are still employed and working, take advantage of this information by going out and creating businesses, because those men who are at home, even women, those men who are at home that don't want to work are soon going to be what? Either on the street, on the street, or that they're going to be looking to get skills. They're going to be looking to get something to eat. Robots are going to be in these places. They're going to work at McDonald's is not going to be an option. Being a server is not going to be an option. Homosexual lifestyle will increase. I'm just letting you know. What I'm telling you is this: you have an opportunity to make as businesses. You have an opportunity to acquire business. You have an opportunity to teach skills to those that want to listen. It's a reason why skill training academies and stuff is $1 billion business. There's a reason why that is. You can't train enough people. Oh, oh yeah, you can automate Petty D for more info. I got more petty than a little. I got more petty than a little. What I'm simply saying is this. Look, if you want to have wealth, you can sit at home. You can sit at home and create wealth. You can. But there's going to be some limitation to that, right? And when I say some limitation, at some point you're going to have some type of human interaction with it. But you need to be creating or buying or getting skills. It's just what it is. You looking for a manufacturing job? They got plenty. How you help manufacture solve those for those? That's the thing. All right, let's get into it. Let's finish it off.
Wonder, what are these guys doing instead of work? Well, kind of what you might expect. Spending nearly 7 hours each weekday on average, relaxing, playing games, and watching TV.
So how is it, from where you're sitting, from your understanding, that people can do nothing all day and still have enough money for a bag of chips?
Oh, well, it's almost as though some entity is paying them. It's almost as if somebody is not letting them fail. It's as if some giant parent somewhere has...
An uncle, maybe?
Could be a rich uncle, yes. Could be a very wealthy uncle.
Or it might come down to values. As many public schools have stopped offering shop class, many students have stopped even considering jobs like the ones Roe has spotlighted, dirty or otherwise.
It goes back to the stigmas and stereotypes and myths and misperceptions that are keeping guidance counselors from talking about opportunities like this to the kids in their care. It's those things that are keeping parents from putting all the options on the table.
How big of an issue is it to have this many people sitting on the sideline?
It's only a matter of our national identity. I think it's a giant issue. And by the time we realize how big an issue it is, we're going to have a hard time turning the temperature down.
It's a fascinating story.
7 million men, and they're watching 7 additional hours.
I was
going to
say that.
Relaxing.
Yeah,
per
that
day.
figure got me.
Wild.
Are the women in their lives or the partners in their lives working?
So this is where it gets a little bit political. People on the right will say these guys are just living off government largesse. They're getting disability, they're benefiting from aid, and that's got to be reformed. And people on the left say they just need to be trained up. And yeah, in the meantime, they're living at home or they're depending on partners.
You mentioned this skills mismatch, and it just made me think, my grandfather was a machinist, which is a highly skilled job. Not anybody, you have to be trained to do that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know a lot of machinists now in 2023.
And I wonder if people are being trained for that. And he mentions Mike.
So Mike Rowe has a foundation called Mike Rowe Works, where he does give people scholarships for that kind of training. That's part of the issue. But like Carla Trotman, the woman in Philadelphia who runs the circuit board manufacturing facility, she'll train you herself. If you're in the Philadelphia area, they're looking for 15 people there. It pays well. It's a nice, clean, quiet place to work. So go there. By the way, some people think, oh, maybe these guys are doing more stay-at-home dadding. That's an optimistic point of view. I looked at the numbers. Shauna Thomas, our executive producer, brought this up. In fact, these guys who are not working and not looking for work are spending less time caring for other household members than the guys who are at work. So they're doing less childcare, not even a little bit more.
I don't know, but an able-bodied man who can work and doesn't, it's not attractive. I'm just going to say, not attractive.
And on that note,
okay, I'm just saying for a friend.
All right. Yeah, as Petty T fashion, you know, I love to read the comments. So let's go read the comments. Because that's what I do in Petty T moments. Last year, more than $140,000 was slashed from the public and private tech companies, and as they were forced to confront rising inflation and tumultuous stock market. Yep, gotta love people working in television and management explaining why people don't want to work harder for less glamorous jobs than they do. I'm in this demographic and I'm calling BS. This is what Jeffrey Lee says. He says, I'm calling BS that nobody wants to work crap. It should be noted that these are mostly manufacturing skilled labor jobs, exactly the kind of jobs they steered us away from in the 60s in effort to force us to transition to college-educated digital future. Men in labor jobs were constantly being told these kind of jobs would be obsolete because they would soon be replaced by computers or robots, which is common. Better to have a solid college degree and move to a safe corporate America job, they said. They closed down most of all the trade schools and offered few options except corporate-related higher education options. You couldn't get a job or a promotion without college education. Consistently, generations of men, especially younger men, have moved on from labor-related manufacturing and trade fields. How many plumbers, electricians, or bricklayers or factory men have you met lately that are working in those dirty jobs? These companies are busy complaining when they should be advertising and offering training. What kind of investments have they made in making sure they even attract employees? Do they offer any incentives to grow and build within the company? They want to capture all the worker bees and then want to claim all the honey for themselves. To postulate that 7 million men are lazy and sitting on their butts is utter bull, and I guess wholly misinformed. There ain't that much welfare on rich uncles available to support such situation. Young men used to be forced to take labor jobs because that's what was mostly available. There's so many off the radar and non-traditional opportunities available now, especially online, which is how I work in my own business. So there is a heavy competition for workers. Younger people are creating their own jobs and job categories and not chasing money and lifestyle as a sign of success of traditional American dream. Companies like these are used to fishing in the barrel for workers, and now the barrel is dried up. They're complaining. In reality, they're reaping what they sowed, nothing. It's like my grandpa used to say. They should get off their butts and get out there and hustle for a change. And of course, there's 50 replies right here, right? So there you go. Such a great response. I totally agree. I am a tail end Gen Xer who trained in tech, foundational comp sci and additional, and I had to teach myself. One, we need more participants and leaders in industry to harness technology in order to empower individuals, civic groups, regardless of resources and so forth. And he has a dissertation, and I won't read it. But again, these are the responses. Responses can be responses, but you can't you can't deny facts, and you can't deny stats. You can't deny facts and you can't deny stats. Let me go over here and read your comments here. Let me see, get my thing over here. Let's see. Actually, even if you make 40K, you don't have to keep making 40K forever. At least you shouldn't want to. Well, that's an issue, right? The issue is, yes, you shouldn't just want to make 40K. You should want more, right? But the issue is we've been, and this is just what I see online. We're being pushed to say it's okay if he or she makes that 40K and you all get married. But here's the issue, that 40K doesn't take care of the immediate issue. And that immediate issue is we need someplace to live. We need someplace to live. We need to have food to eat, and you need to get back and forth to work. So it doesn't meet the immediate issue. And you can't say you want to stay at home wife and you have 40K and you got all these other bills that you got to meet. And then can't say you want a traditional marriage and then she go work too. And then, well, my mama did that. Well, that's your mama. That's what I'm telling you. What us as women gonna tell you? That's your mama. That ain't me. Just because it was good for your mama don't mean it's gotta be good for me, right? So it's an issue of like, which one is it? Like, and this is why you see that push out for people getting married in their 30s now. They're not getting married in their 20s. They're not getting married as they get out of high school or graduate from college or whatnot. It still happens. It just doesn't happen as much because people are like, yo, wait. We need some money to make this all work, right? We need some money to make this all work, right? And you're just gonna see that, right? And so now the question is, who's going to fill the manufacturing jobs, which is why they left the last time and went overseas. And there was a big thing with Trump, and he was like, bring all the jobs back to America. We need it back in America. Well, who going to do it, right? If you're sitting at home, and I'm just going by what the report says, and people say, oh, the report be lying. Well, they getting that from somewhere. They're not just putting it like, this seems like it should be good, right? So they're getting the data from somewhere is what I'm saying, right? So you got to figure out which side of the map you're going to be on when it comes to this, right? Who's going to solve for these problems, right? Who's going to solve for these problems, right? The whole situation will produce different problems. Crime, yeah, crime. You're talking about more crime. You're talking about more homelessness. We're talking about more homosexual man or woman. We're talking about more people looking to, like, again, a lot of people are first generation millionaires, first generation 100,000 heirs, if you want to really be realistic about it. And what does that look like? Who's gonna take care of the family members that's behind that may be in that situation or in it, like who's gonna take care of that people? Like they say, a lot of people have them rich uncles or somebody to or support system to help them get to where they need to be, right? But here's my final thing on this, and we're gonna move on. Don't blame single women. Don't blame single baby mothers or whatever you want to call them. Don't blame them on that. Right? You're human. You have rights and options. You have choices that you make. And if you choose, you choose. But don't come blaming us. We ain't do nothing. All we did was get up and go to work every day. Don't tell me if it wasn't for your mouth. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You got options. Right? Ashley said, "D. Lennox, you're right. They probably do. I wish people would understand that everything isn't what it is posted to be." DB Darrow, you said AI robots taking all the jobs. We too broke to argue free. I mean, not free. For Farida, yep, we too broke to argue. Hashtag. Get your shirts while you can. We too broke to argue. We are. All right. So in good old fashion, let me see. Maybe. Yeah, let's do this one. Let me minimize this guy here. Let's pull this over. You know, I gotta have one petty T before we go. Even though that's a good pet. That was a good petty T right there. That was a good one. But this one right here, I thought you would find this interesting. But I found it interesting. And yeah, you do have to want more. You do have to want more. All right, so here we go. Death and deceit in Malibu. Is it not coming up? Why is it not coming up? Let me see. Yeah, you know what? It's been acting up lately. I don't know what that is. This is the same screen. I'm going to have to reboot after this. All right, let me stop sharing and share again. There we go. I found this interesting. Death and deceit in Malibu. How Yogi couple befriended and stole millions for a vulnerable rich doctor. Petty tea time. All right. It's I didn't want to do the one that I want. I got another one, right? But I don't think it's as interesting as this one. This one is oh, that's the other one. Let me see. This one is the other one that I got is this one. I'll let you pick and choose, I guess. I'm stretched thin. I'm 23 and make 75,000 a year living in the northeast, but between rent and other bills, I have very little in the bank each month. Should I hire a pro to help? So you pick and choose which one you want to talk about. You want to talk about the death and deceit in Malibu, or do you want to hear about I'm 23 and I make 75,000 a year and I'm stretched thin? I know which one D would want to hear. She don't want to hear nothing about this 23-year-old being stretched thin. Heather G say, Yogi, you want to hear about Yogi? Malibu? Keep it petty. He need what you say, you already know what the issue is. He need to spend less or he need to move. Like I looked at that, I was like, I'll pull it up, but I don't. Yeah, he's 23 and he's stretched thin. Engineering Cameron said he said 23 and stretched thin. I'm surprised, Engineering Cameron, that you want to hear about 23 and stretched thin. Like, I'm so shocked. As petty as you are. You must be an imposter. This must be ChatGPT responding. It can't be you. Look, everybody's like, we already got that. We got him. We already know how to fix his problem. Like, do an analysis of your budget, where you living at, what your commute is looking like. Are you driving? Shouldn't be. You're in New York. You shouldn't be having a car though, and and insurance to pay for unless you like need. But you're 23, so you know how to diddy bop. You know how to diddy bop. As long as you don't fall asleep on the subway and let the rat crawl up on you. Did y'all see that? All right, this is petty mode. But hold on. Did y'all see that? The rat crawling on the man, crawling, crawls on man while he was sleeping. Did y'all see that? He was asleep on the subway. It was recently. It wasn't that one. It was another one. Let me filter by this week. Yeah, it is right here. Sleep. I couldn't be sleep. I feel all of that. Feel none of that. How sleep you gotta be. Girl, I think my soul was there. The way he stood up, I would have had an out of body experience. I would have been like, "How gonna take me away?" Like I would have had an out of body experience. There's no way, no way. I would have felt that rat on crawling up my leg. Nah, nah, son, nah, son, nah, son, nah, son, nah, mm-mm, nah. Oh yeah, I was supposed to read this article. We kind of got the gist here, right? Let's hit it. All right. So the death and deceit in Malibu. How Yogi couple befriended and stole millions from a vulnerable doctor. Anton, David, and Anna Moore are accused of pretending to be caretakers for Dr. Mark Soswich. Is I guess that's how you say his name, an ophthalmologist, while really having an eye on his $60 million fortune. Let's read it. Let's get into it. Right? And this happened in 2017. Soswich, a brilliant but troubled ophthalmologist who struggled with bipolar disorder, met Anton, David, and Anna Moore. It was a fateful encounter that would eventually lead to his death and a plundering of his vast fortune. David, whose real name is Anthony Flores, was a guru esque figure with long flowing hair and a beard who worked as a hairstylist on film shoots. Moore, a pixie like blonde, was an actress and a singer. Both ran a yoga center in Fresno, California. Their spiritual vibe cast a spell on Soswich, who had just days earlier been released from a mental health facility where he had been committed after suffering a breakdown. By the end of the day, the three had hopped into Soswich's Tesla for an impromptu road trip to Northern California. At the end of the week, David and Moore had moved in to his multi-million-dollar beachfront home in Malibu. So, what's this man's name? Let me go up here. I want to see if they got his Malibu home so we can see what that is. All right, that's share. Let me go to images here. Do they have a picture of the home? Is this it? Is that the house? Is this your king? Is this his house right here? Huh? They call them on this one. They call them a cuffed grifters. They call them grifters. We're gonna see more grifters, but this is the home. All right, let's get back to it. All right. They say they moved into the by the end of the week. They moved into the home. If it helps you in any way, or if there's anything we can do for you, we will be happy to assist you, David allegedly wrote in a text message to Soswich. Our desire is to add ease and flow to your life and be of great service. Sincerely, your new friends, Anton and Anna. Over the last 11 months, the couple began presenting Soswich's caretaker while his mental health spiraled further out of control, according to court documents. Began presenting themselves. Okay. But federal court prosecutors now say they were really grifters who only had their eyes on Soswich's vast fortune worth over 60 million. As months passed, David and Moore allegedly fed Soswich's steady diet of LSD, marijuana, and ketamine, and an animal tranquilizer often used as a recreational drug that has also been experimented with as a treatment for severe depression. At the same time, the prosecutor said David and Moore began exerting a tighter grip on Soswich's finances. Over the next several months, Soswich went in and out of treatment facilities, even jail. The pair soon gained power of returning over his accounts. Where is your people's at? Why he didn't have a lawyer or somebody managing his money? Why didn't he have something in place? Why was he not ordered by the court to put something in place to protect his assets? Right? These are questions I be having to ask. These are questions. So those that are going to be single and single forever, put things in place. That's all I'm saying. David Moore began hiring an assistant to purportedly help Soswich care, but prosecutors said they were primarily used to aid the pair's careers instead. I am his power attorney and executive life assistant. My goal is to integrate him into love and light. He is a potential investor for all my contents, prosecutors say, David wrote in a text to an acquaintance. Then in May 27, 2018, he suddenly died in his home at 57. The coroner's office listed the cause of death as a result of mixing ketamine with alcohol. His death was deemed an accident. What? What? Because I guess he was voluntarily taking it. Oh, y'all messy in these streets. Oh, y'all messy in the streets. All right. It's Saltwood. Okay, he got family. Right? He got family. As Saltwood's family began sorting through his estate, they discovered that nearly $3 million was missing, having been transferred into accounts controlled by David and Moore. But that wasn't the end of it. Prosecutors said in the months that followed, the pair moved back into Saltwood's house, claiming it now belonged to them and they were entitled to a third of his fortune. A lengthy legal fight ensued between the pair and Saltwood's family. On Wednesday, a federal prosecutor in Los Angeles announced that they had charged David and Moore with multiple counts of fraud, identity theft, and money laundering. The 46-year-old David was arrested last week in Fresno. The 39-year-old Moore, who has since moved to Monterrey, Mexico, was picked up on Tuesday as she got off a flight in Houston. So they ain't even together no more like that. The pair remained in custody and could not be reached for comment. Messages left with the public defenders appointed to represent them at initial court hearings were not immediately returned. A message left with an attorney who represented them in civil case brought by Southridge family also wasn't immediately returned. In a Facebook post to raise money for his legal defense shortly after his arrest, David wrote to Perez, "I can assure you on my soul that I am innocent." He pled not guilty in court. A troubled life. For much of his life, Southridge had managed his struggle with bipolar disorder with success. A graduate of University of Chicago Medical School who completed his residency at Johns Hopkins, he then moved to California and built a thriving ophthalmology practice in the Pacific Palisades, specializing as a surgeon. He was also a savvy investor whose smart financial choices helped him build a sizable fortune worth tens of millions and allowed him to buy a beachfront in Malibu. But in his 50s, he was dealt a series of setbacks and his life started to unwind. According to a narrative written by his sister and elderly mother, his only survivors, he didn't have any kids and he wasn't married. That was included in the document filled as part of his family's civil lawsuit against Flores and Moore. Following his divorce, okay, he was married. Sosrich began unraveling, and his family said he began to be hospitalized 8 times between 2015 and 2017. In 2016, he suffered a serious accident that left both his hands severely burned, making it impossible for him to even perform surgeries again. Not long after that, his father died, and he broke up with his girlfriend, further fueling his depressive spiral and leaving his finances in turmoil. Several arrests for petty crimes like vandalism, public drunkenness, walking out on restaurant bills, and battery followed. His family lived in Florida, so were unable to keep a close eye on him to provide him with the help he needed. Mark was a very private person, and his family respected that. And Adam Streisand, the lawyer who represented the Sosrich family, mother and sister in civil case against David and Moore, they were completely unaware of what was happening until the end, unfortunately. Right. So that lets me know right there that nobody was calling him. They weren't keeping in contact with each other. There was no conversation amongst them as well too. Being private doesn't mean you isolate yourself from your family either. Right. Born and raised in San Francisco. These San Francisco folks, I don't know about y'all San Francisco folk. Moore had aspired to be an actress from childhood. She earned a bachelor's degree from New York City School of Arts and further studied in theater in London and the Netherlands. According to her biography, she got an IMDb. She got a break in 2007. Like, she was fine. She didn't have to do this. It goes on to talk about his state of vulnerability and so forth. It's a long article, but all I want to say is this. Keep in contact with somebody, right? Keep in contact with somebody. Make sure you're doing some check-ins. Make sure you also are protecting your assets. Like, if you know you're suffering from bipolar disorder, there's something should have been put in place right then, and he thought he could manage it probably as well too. And we see what happened, right? His sister and his mother, they may not need it or they may need it, but they get nothing, right? They're fighting for whatever is left. Assuming that house is left, I don't know if it's paid off or not. We can always go look that up. But it just goes to show you, like, at any point in time, you can become vulnerable. You could need somebody. It pays to be nice to people, pays to talk to people. Have somebody that has your back and that's in your corner, or a couple of people that have your back or in your corner, right? Yeah, I'm all about being petty, but I'm also about protection, right? I'm all about being petty, but I'm also about protection. Don't let people give you horse tranquilizers and psychedelics that you don't know nothing about, right? Be very careful about what you consume around others. Watch people pour your drinks. You never know. You be in mixed company sometime, and you never know the person's true intentions or whatnot, right? Slowly killing you off and harvesting your organs. So be very, very, very careful. We got to start our next show, but I just want to give y'all that tidbit of information this morning or this afternoon. Make sure you are thinking about what jobs you can create to fulfill these jobs that are out there. And I would say start looking at assisted living facilities, affordable housing. I need to do a document. I need to do a show on affordable housing. I've been following some trends and looking at stuff and looking at things across all the different cities, all the major cities and so forth. See you on the next show. Appreciate you. God bless and good night. And no homosexuals.